Tonight in growing Nashville, Fox 17 News continuing to follow the city's affordable housing crisis.
As we reported to you earlier this month, federal guidelines say housing is only affordable if it's 30% of your income. But in our area, nearly half of all renters are paying far beyond that, pricing families out.
It is stressful to not necessarily feel like I can afford to live where I want to live.
We're good.
I'd love to live in the community where I work, and that's not feasible.
Fox 17 News continues to investigate why so many find the dream of home ownership out of reach.
Well, Amanda Chin examines the city's response as the housing crisis hits the people who keep Nashville running: teachers, police officers, and service workers.
The math doesn't add up for many of Nashville's essential workforce as the cost of living continues to climb. Wages haven't kept up to pace, with some wondering if they can afford to live in the city they serve. Graham Spencer has a passion for being in the classroom. He spent 8 years teaching 7th and 8th grade social studies at Goodlettsville Middle School. The struggle for affordable housing is personal.
And knowing that I wanted to make Nashville my home, lay roots here, now I have a family. But when I was teaching, I knew this is where I wanted to call home.
Advocates say until developers build more truly affordable units, Nashville's essential workforce, teachers like Spencer, firefighters, and police officers will all be priced out of the city they keep running.
Take a teacher or firefighter, police officer example, right? Generally speaking, making around $55,000 a year, right? If you look at that 30% number we talked about, that means that that individual, if it's a single individual, they would basically need to purchase something at $175,000 in order for it to be considered affordable, right?
The city's own numbers back that up. But where are those affordable houses? According to Nashville's Unified Housing Strategy, as of last year, only 1 in 3 homes in Nashville is affordable to the median or middle household income. Right now, Nashville's middle income is $114,000 for all households, but that's more than twice as much as the starting salary for a teacher in Davidson County. Even early in Spencer's career, he knew the numbers wouldn't work.
I knew I was going to get priced out of Davidson County. At the time, I was working 6-7 days a week to make sure that I could afford what I wanted to afford.
In 2019, Spencer had no choice. He says he had to move out of Nashville to Sumner County. Spencer's story isn't unique. A spokesperson for Metro Schools told Fox 17 more than 30% of Metro teachers live outside of Davidson County. How do you think Nashville got to the place where we are now, and how do we keep our essential workers like firefighters, police officers, teachers living in the city where they serve?
We spent a long time without addressing transportation and infrastructure needs, which caused a little bit more, kind of a sprawling development pattern. How we got here is really a function of our growth and not necessarily addressing some of the things that we should have been addressing to accommodate our growth.
Angie Hubbard is the director of Metro's Housing Division, a department started only 3 years ago. What message would you have for those families who feel like they can't afford to stay and live in the city that they grew up in?
The message for people that are struggling to find housing that they need is come to the table and share your story. We know affordable housing is a crisis, but when it comes time to talk about the policy initiatives or other city level decisions that are being made, those voices usually aren't represented.
Hubbard says her department is trying to change how Nashville tackles affordability.
But what we do is look at where Davidson County incomes are and target our programs to achieve that deeper affordability that might be needed here as opposed to some other counties.
Hubbard hopes city programs like the Housing Trust Fund will help increase affordability and preserve existing homes. Here's how. That money comes largely from federal funds. Hubbard says the city's basically built up a portfolio with funds topping $200 million.
And we're able to put nearly 1,000 new homes into the pipeline through funding through that.
Homes that meet the $329,000 or less price that regular folks can buy, but will still be a struggle for those teachers and firefighters we've been talking about. But even Hubbard admits the city can't fix the housing crisis on its own.
That is not achievable by the city alone. It requires state support, federal support, philanthropic support, corporate support to be able to scale to the need that we have in Davidson County.
And while the city has incentive programs for developers like the Catalyst Fund, which preserves affordable apartment complexes, Hubbard says transparency is key to accountability.
What are some of those tangible things that people can be on the lookout for?
Well, the first thing I'm excited about is in the Unified Housing Strategy, there are actual performance metrics, and we have a housing dashboard. We'll be adding all those metrics to our dashboard so the public can actually see where the progress is being made.
This dashboard shows average housing costs, households that spend more than 30% of their income on housing, housing needs, and affordable housing production numbers that the public and Fox 17 can track to figure out if the city's affordable housing strategy is working. Spencer says progress can't come soon enough.
Because it's not just our educators, our public servants, it's the families that we serve as well who are struggling to live in the county, in the city we want to work in.
As the city builds toward its future, the real test will be whether every Nashvilleian has a place in it. If you want to see the city's housing strategy and housing dashboard for yourself, head to fox17.com. Reporting in Nashville, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.